Shalom. Let me screen share a second. Greetings, everyone. This hangout is going to be in two parts. Well, it's going to be one hangout, but separated into two separate contexts. The first being on absolute corruption of the type we're familiar with in this adventure we call the whole flat earth study, with charlatans and imposters and agents and corrupt individuals abusing good, kind-hearted, hard-working people. So let me share a window. This is Laura Dekker. Laura Dekker is a young woman who, at the age of 16, been set off at the age of 15, circumnavigated the earth. That's right, she sailed around the world. She has set up an organization to teach children and disaffected youth, I suppose, life skills. Okay, so great idea. Also, so I'm just sharing this in people. If people want to go there, make a donation, maybe, I don't know. I certainly will be doing. The point is, this is a great idea, and they're looking for a place, as I'm highlighting, they're looking for a place to build Guppy XL. Guppy was the original ship, and this is where the story turns sour and becomes about corruption. This is Laura's own website. I'm going to read what she wrote here. I was sick of all the lies, twisting of the truth, and the back and forth of accusations and writing of blogs. So I decided to publish everything I have. These are all the mail conversations which have gone between Life Sale and me or my lawyer, Peter DeLong. I hope by publishing this, people will be able to have their own read through it, and that it gives clarity to the situation as to what really happened between the two parties. That's Life Sale and herself. I also think it should clarify the untruthful facts which have been stated in their latest blog, and that these people are clearly not capable of safely sailing with children. So now, Laura Dekker herself is going to be teaching children how to sail. Great idea. Now, this other people, Life Sail, and I'm going to scroll through these 72. Oh, look, here's a fat retard filling up a diesel engine with a water canister. That's right. She didn't think of maybe sniffing to make sure she had the right canister. What happened to the engine? It packed up. Oh, good gosh. Well, that will happen if you fill a diesel engine with frickin' water. This retard here got the boat stuck in a reef, and the original Guppy with which Laura went around the world, became destroyed because this fat retard stuck it in a reef and then ran off and didn't deal with it. Didn't listen to Laura's advice, didn't contact Laura, didn't say, hey Laura, dude, I got this stuck, what do I do? Laura would have said, well, get in your dinghy, take the anchor, sail away, drop the anchor, get back to your ship and winch the ship out of position with the anchor, which Laura explains herself in the communications, okay? She didn't bother, she ran off and she tried to get, oh, by the way, this fat retard is a Christian. That's right, one of those lovely people who hide behind Christianity. Yeah, freaking I hate people like that. So I'm scrolling and you can read all of these. I'll paste a link in the chat. Just going to scroll all the way through. I read all of them. It's like, good gosh, how they gaslighted this poor girl. So what happened was this. These people say to her, hey, we have this this charity, 513c. Oh, where have we heard about that? we have this 501c3 charity and we're going to teach children how to do sailing things, and disaffected youth, poor children, the kind of children we can take to other islands and rape, because that's the kind of thing that corrupt individuals, like the individuals that did this to Laura, that's the kind of thing they do. You might think I'm exaggerated, just go and read some headlines. So they said to her, look, in order to be able to do this, you need to send the boat over to us as a formality so we can get registration in the United States to make it all legal, because they're an American company. So she's like, yeah, sure, I'll make it formal, and here we have a contract, and the contract stipulates what their duties are. They neglected every single one of them. So I will stop sharing that, and I will paste the link in the chat. Give me a second. I don't like bad people. I really don't like bad people. HS Dekker writes, Laura Dekker equals comes from much dollars. Really? Really comes from much dollars? Is that the truth? Or is that just something that you've made up just now? HS Dekker. So I'm getting rid of your comment, because she explains quite clearly her parents' background. Her father is a fixer-upper of ships, and her mother's a circus artist and street performer, you lying piece of shit. So fuck off, HS Dekker. You think you're gonna defend Lifesail after they destroyed her freaking boat, you freaking cretin? Anyway, so just give me a second. I'm gonna have to open that page again. 1 second. And I'm going to say this. I am not saying that by what I'm about to show, Laura Dekker endorses any of what I'm going to say. None at all. I'm not saying that at all. No affiliation whatsoever. Okay? I don't want to bring that woman any freaking hassle from the kind of morons that are in this community. So, 1 second. But I am going to show some things that are making it very difficult for globalings to continue being globalings, so they try not to see. Let's see. Where is it? Just a second. No. Is it here? Oh, gosh. Just give me a second. I've lost the page. Is it here? No. Just give me a second while I find it. So straight away, I start talking about this, and there's some cretin in the chat saying, oh, she comes from lots of money. Why do people like that even exist? I don't know. Anyway, just give me a second. I will find it. Yes, here it is. No, wrong one. Oh, so the lifestyle people tried to smear her, you know, ever so passively. I think this is it. Just a second. Yes, here it is. Yeah, there, you can read it there. So I will paste the link. Wow. You can read the whole thing right there. Copy. Why do people like that exist? And Paste. Really, why do people who are so spiritually corrupt exist? Un abrazo, Rama. What happened to Wolfie 1620? No idea. The poor fool is still convinced that you can double a cube. Yeah, because I mean, like, well, if you can double a cube, then a feather can't fall at the same rate as a hammer. Like, well, you can't double a cube, and a feather does fall at the same rate as a hammer. Just depends on the feather, you know. Anyway, let me get back to this. So, I pasted in the link if you want to read the whole discourse, all of it, because that's what you do when people are trying to smear you. You expose it. And at one point they're like, we'll come to an agreement, we'll give her half of the insurance money, because the other half will obviously have to be paid for, like, you know, recovery and destruction and environmental things, and except for her lawyer saying no, the insurance company covers all of that. So, well, we'll give her half of it if she pulls all the stuff she's been saying about us. Don't we know about those tactics? Yes. So, what those people fear, like the imposters of the world, the Nora No Ones of the world, you know, people who call themselves things like Nora No One, they fear exposure. They fear the truth, just the things being shown. So she showed every last bit of communication, all of it. Some of it is quite funny. She's like, you know, usually diesel doesn't go in blue jerry cans. Blue jerry cans are like for water, you know, blue water. Anyway, so, but now I'm going to go over two talks that she gave. Now the Globelings can say you cherry-picked as much as they like. It's okay. They can say that. They can look to cherry-pick too. That's okay. But when you plot the routes on Google Earth, like I'm going to show, it contradicts the Google Earth type distances, the globe Earth type distances. So first I'm going to play this. Just give me a second. And this is not going to be a long one because it's a bit late. First I'm going to play this. And this all comes from the recent hangout with a cartographer who just couldn't deal with the fact that ocean distances agree with my map. The verifiable details agree with my map. The only details that do not agree with my map are unverifiable details. That's right, unverifiable details, well, they can agree with anything. The verifiable details, like the speed and the distance, agree with my map and not the globe. So, this is Laura Dekker, youngest circumnavigator to sail alone around the world. Listen very carefully to what she's going to say.
And seriously, after 40,000 miles that I did now?
And seriously, after 40,000 miles that I did now. So, listen.
And a lot of good sailors don't want to sail there.
She's talking about the English Channel. Lots of sailors, they don't want to sail the English Channel. It's congested, there's treachery there, it's just not fun. Okay. So listen.
And seriously, after 40,000 miles that I did now?
After 40,000 miles that I did now?
I would not go sailing there again for fun.
I would not go sailing there again for fun. After 40,000 miles. Okay. Now let's listen to what she says here. Here she's talking about the leg from Cape Town to St. Martin's in the Caribbean. Let's listen carefully to, well, whether she was traveling slow or fast and how long she was traveling for.
So the weather there was actually quite nice. I had the wind from behind all the time, and lots of wind, so I was going very fast.
So I was going very fast.
Going across the equator was a bit rougher, which it always is. In the equator you get these kind of crazy weather systems because the north and the south come together. And I didn't experience that as much on the time I crossed the equator before, but here it was lots of sudden squalls and then no wind and then lots of wind and then waves and no waves. But it was just for a day or two.
But that was just for a day or two.
Once I was through that, I was all smooth sailing back up to the Caribbean. So, sailing-wise, that trip was good. Somehow mentally, though, it was a lot harder because it was the last trip. I was gonna have, once I arrived, that was it. I would have managed to do what I set out to do. And in a way, that was kind of absurd and scary, and I didn't want it to end. And it also didn't really feel like an end to me. Because I had originally set out to see the world, to know what it was like to be out there. And I think in South Africa I already kind of got everything I wanted. I'd seen lots of islands and met lots of people. I'd been through storms and calms, been out there for a long time. So I had what I wanted. And coming back to St. Martin, for me, didn't quite feel like something really special. I also absolutely didn't realize that what I had done was maybe something crazy or special, or whatever you want to call it. To me, it was simply another stopover. And actually, I remember my dad writing me a short message saying, "Oh, everybody is so excited, and there will be lots of media and people waiting for you, and it will be great." And the only thing I thought of was, what? No, I don't want that. And I wrote him a message back saying, "Well, I'm gonna go to another island, and once I'm there, I will tell you where I am." And of course, that kind of freaked my family out a bit. So they finally convinced me that I should go to St. Martin. But really, all you want after 41 days at sea is to just have a warm shower and something good to eat.
All you want after 41 days at sea from Cape Town, fast travel, fast sailing, apart from a day or two, fast sailing, 41 days. Let's listen again.
So they finally convinced me that I should go to St. Martin. But really, all you want after 41 days at sea is to just have a warm shower and something good to eat, sleep a night through.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to link this in the chat, and you can watch it at your leisure. Let me resize the window when I can. Okay. 41 days at sea. That's 41 days from Cape Town to St. Martin's. And this is the kind of thing that the Globelings just can't quite deal with. Because you see, what they do is they say, okay, so from here to here, on the map, on their maps, their Mercator maps, well, it's quite a long line, yeah, it makes perfect. 41 days, yeah, that's fine. It's like, wait a second, fast sailing, 41 days, fast sailing, apart from maybe a day or two. Okay, but still, fast sailing. Plot it on Google Earth and take a look. If you plot it on Google Earth, which I did do, and I'm about to screen share, just give me a second. This is the route. Now this is a direct route. I can bend it if you want. It's 6,500 miles. Now, interestingly, she said she sailed to St. Martin's around the South Atlantic. This is not around the South Atlantic. This is almost immediately heading north. Let me put the grid and you'll see. See? This would be the South Atlantic. But hey, some people were saying, well, no, this part is South Africa. Fine, fine, you can say that if you want. That's okay. So I'm going to remove the grid. 6,500 miles. And like I said, you know, you can make this line bendy if you want. You know, you can make it zigzaggy. Great. Still 6,700. Great. Pretty sure she wouldn't zigzag around, you know, because she knows what she's doing. 6,570 divided by 41 days. So 6,570, and these are miles, not nautical miles, divided by 41 days. So 160 miles a day. That's kind of slow. That's half the speed the Cutty Sark did. Divide that by 24. That's 6.6 miles an hour. That's about 5 knots. That's not fast sailing. Now this girl knows fast sailing because when she was approaching the Cape of Good Hope, she was doing very fast speeds. The winds were of 55 knots. So this girl knows speed. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that this girl, if this girl decided to look into this and go, hey, good Lord, the earth is flat, they wouldn't be able to keep her shut, keep her quiet. I don't think so. But they might exert a lot of pressure. So, yeah, that's just what I think, okay? Yeah, they will probably say, hey, if you want to continue with your charity, just stay quiet about the flat earth. And then she would stay quiet about the flat earth. Maybe say it, you know, 1-to-1 when nobody's recording. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But, and I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't. Some people are religious about the flat earth. If you're religious about the flat earth, then you're stupid. This isn't a religion. Anyway, there's the link, and here comes the link to the other one. 40,000 miles that she did just now. Now, this, to be completely fair, after St. Martin's, she went on to sail to New Zealand. That still doesn't make it 40,000 miles on the globe. However, on my map, her journey is 46,000 miles. Around 45, depending how much you curve the lines, the journeys. So on my map, 46,000 miles, which turns out to be about 40,000 nautical miles. Oh, that's inconvenient. It's very inconvenient for the globe. And I like sharing this because, well, because truth is important. The only reason I do any of this is because I kind of enjoy the truth. I like things that are true. There. I like the truth, even when it's painful. It's better than the false, that's for sure. So anyway, I'm looking in the chat. So, you guys who have my map, who have the maps with the key, or who've downloaded the maps and you draw your own key, I mean, the best place is from the border between Algiers and Morocco, straight line to South Africa, the southern coast of South Africa, as 5,000 miles. Use that as an actual distance key. You don't need an infinite key or an infinite amount of keys like Mercator maps. It's like, wow, what kind of map is this that you need an infinite amount of keys? Well, there's something wrong with that, isn't there? And yes, it's all to do with the projection style, and the projection style is based on the mathematics in order to support the globe, not in order to support the real world. In order to support the globe, the mathematics was constructed to support the globe. Now, George Airy discussed a way of drawing maps, a mappa mundi, with the least number of errors, and his system was the same as the Arab system, which was to make lots and lots of azimuthal drawings and just expand. Okay, a bit like when you use the radius of a circle and you cross over the radiuses and you just expand. You could look at it as a bit of a honeycomb shape if you choose. So it's two ways. You could cross over at the borders, like to have the circles bisecting, or radius to radius. Here's one circle and here's another, and just cover the whole thing. And that would be a mathematical system, but that would give you my map. That system would give you my map. So they don't use that. And that was Airy. That was George Airy. So, and he goes he goes to great lengths to explain the mapping errors, just mapping errors altogether. So, yeah. So, Matt Schulz. Just think the word Matt Schulz. I'm going to write it in the chat. Matt Schulz is the guy who swindled that girl. He sold her story that he was going to have a charity and have young children using teaching children, youths, how to sail, and instead took the boat, lent it around his friends, and had it destroyed on its journey to America. Just had the whole thing destroyed. Just unbelievable. And then at one point, to give her, because they knew that what she was doing was she was checking their travel on GPS trackers. Oh, GPS trackers. She was checking their travel. She's seeing when they're not moving. At one point, they take the tracker off that boat, put it on another boat, and go traveling around. And she sees like, it's doing 12 knots. The heck are you doing? Like real straightforward gaslighting, fraud, corruption, just the kind of shit I really don't like. The kind of shit that makes me very, very dedicated. They did that to her, and she's like, you think I'm letting go of this? No freaking chance. Instead, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another gulpy. I'm going to tell everybody what you did, and I'm taking the idea. It's a great idea to teach children. She's already an ambassador for young children in New Zealand to help fight against teenage suicide and child suicide. Brilliant. Instead of these guys that have a lawsuit against them. And Christians, they make themselves out to be Christians. Now, this is one of the things, this is why I left the Catholic Church. When I saw that other Catholic people were just standing by while they saw Catholic people doing nasty stuff, I saw a guy outside the church smack his maybe 8-year-old boy with his hand like this, boom, on the ear. And the child went and started screaming. At the time I was doing martial arts, I know what this does when you do that pum on the ear. In fact, if you watch martial arts now, if you watch mixed martial arts, you'll see that one of the things that's like kind of infamous is the Stockton slap. And that's what it is. Okay? I saw an adult do this, and I kicked up a fuss, and I was told to not kick up a fuss, and the priest was standing right there, and everybody was standing right there, and the fat guy who'd just done this to his child had been telling the child to stop running around. Just stop running around. The child's happy because he's just left boring church, and eventually grabbed him and plah. That's it. No more church. And all the people who say, but some Catholics some Catholic priests are good. Like, really? Do they go after the paedophile priests? Do they insist that the Pope change the laws so that millstones be tied around the neck and they be thrown into the ocean or a well or a river? Do they do that? No, they don't. So they're not so good. Excuse me. Now, back to the maps. If you take this map, or if you take the maps that are in the description, and you just check yourselves, just check, take her route. I have the route here somewhere, but you'll find it on her website. Take her route and plot it, and see what the speed was, and you see, this is very, very reasonable speed for this young navigator. Very reasonable speed, not at all too fast. But on the globe, it's like, well, these are ridiculously slow speeds for a skilled navigator in smooth sailing. These are very poor speeds. And if you bother to check and you want to see what maybe 3 knots looks like, or even 5 knots, then spend some time looking at the people who do transatlantic sailing. See what they say. See how it will always say GPS knots. Okay, so yeah, GPS knots. Oh, 3.5. And you see how smooth the oceans are and how little wash there is behind the ship. How little foam. You see, like, that's interesting. That's 3 knots. This is 5 knots. Well, that's interesting. Before, you must have been doing, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe 10. And you start to see the whole stack of cards to do with sailing distances just collapse entirely. The same as when people start looking into gyroscopic drift, the whole globe rotation collapses. When people start doing long distance photography, the Earth curvature collapses. The same thing. Now I'm looking in the chat and seeing comments. There's a clown shoe that right now in the chat there's a guy who says that he checked and verified Earth rotations by looking at a self-made Foucault pendulum swinging for 10 minutes. This is a true story. He's called Hugo Perez. He's in the chat right now. I'm leaving his comments there. He really thinks that he detected Earth's rotation by checking the swinging of a pendulum for 10 minutes. Then he lies and says that he has it on his website, on his YouTube channel. Bob, Antonio, check out Mylene Paquette, who crossed the Atlantic by rowboat. Oh, I will. In a second. Sorry, just 1 second. Yes, he's saying less than 10 minutes. Okay, well, Perez, I'm sorry that you're so stupid. So I'm going to give you time to, I don't know, go and read a physical book, maybe. And we have this in the real world. We have adult men and women who think that by looking at a pendulum swinging, because he went on to say, for 5 minutes, that in 5 minutes, you can see, it's like, look, what you should do is have it swing for 24 hours and see what happens, really. Okay, but there's no point arguing with those people. It really is like arguing with a dog, just trying to speak reason to a dog or a cat, much worse, a cat. Right. Somebody trying to make business out of me. That's what that is. Hey, I've got a great business idea, and I think it could be a great interest to you. Not interested. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, so there's somebody in the chat saying, why is an imposter trying to expose you as a narcissist? This is why. The imposter I exposed as a narcissist, who happens to be transgender too. Later I exposed it as transgender. And then, well, first I exposed it as a narcissist. Then it started to try to smear me as a rapist. I said, look, no, you shouldn't have gone there. Look, everyone, that narcissist is transgender. So that's why, in case you didn't know. Danny Diesel, you guys need to watch Bill Hicks' Sane Man stand-up video. It's great. I've seen it many times, Danny. So, folks, those of you who like drawing at least, grab my maps, draw a key. If you don't find one with a key, I mean the ones in the books had keys. Check distances, and then check how long things take. And then take with a pinch of salt the top speeds. Like the top speeds. So, oh, top speed of this plane is this much. So really? Yep. According to whom? Well, according to GPS. Who runs GPS? NASA. Ah, okay. There's this guy still. I don't know. Well, so it's obviously there's this globling who doesn't get it through his head that he's been rumbled. In Manchester, we refer to that as being exposed. He's been exposed as just a con man twat, and instead of just going away with his tail between his legs, he comes back with lots of sock accounts, which further exposes him as somebody who has lots of sock accounts. Dumbass, do you not understand, Hugo Pérez? Eres tan imbécil que no ves que cuando vuelves con más cuentas, enseño que tienes muchas más cuentas, que eres un charlatán, por eso tienes tantas cuentas. Yo tengo una cuenta. ¿Por qué tienes tantas? Porque eres charlatán imbécil. Hugo Pérez. Jesus. Sub Johnny, $5 Canadian for a tea or beer of your choice. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that from you. But please, everybody else, no more. No super chats. I'm not a super chat guy. But Sub Johnny, yeah. And one day, Sub Johnny, one day you and I will go for a beer or a coffee. Wow. So, third time, here, I tell you what I will do. I will screen share the chat, because the imbecile isn't listening, so I will screen share the chat. That way you will see how many times he comes back, and I ban him and he comes back with more soccer accounts. And people who have many accounts, well, just a second. People who have many accounts, obviously, well, broken in some way, that they have sat there and actually created, with all of the rigmarole that goes to creating accounts, many accounts. Just weird. There, okay. So here. There you go. We can see that. Stick it in the corner. Oops. Oh, wrong one. Just put it like this. Then it will highlight. Because a clown shoe, to make it extra obvious, pastes lots of globes. So, carry on. Knock yourself out, dude. Hammond Walker, how you doing? Yes, I'm pretty sure Sub Johnny knows Hammond Walker, but it's a good gesture. I do tend to use I set the super chat up so that I could goad Globlings and say, hey, if you have further questions, make it through super chat. So there you go. There's the half-wit. Just exposing himself further. Every time he comes back with a new channel, because he's just been banned, that's like the 4th or 5th time. When he comes back with a new channel, he's just showing how many sock accounts he has set up. These people are just very broken. Chrissy Lynn, imagine keeping track of the passwords. Oh, he'll have the same password for all of them. Bobby, Antonio, dame llame que me encargo de Hugo. No, no hace falta. Muchas gracias, Bobby. Pero no. T1 drummer, this guy. Bullshit technologists. Okay, don't really know what that means. Awaken Humanity, how are you doing? Hi Antonio, good to be in a live show. Cool, cheers, I hope you enjoy. Rewind, see the start of this, where I show sailing routes. You see, with the flights, and notice how not many Globelings are discussing my map and arguing about flights, because I just switch it and say, well, look, you have to admit you don't really know how fast planes fly, okay? So you don't know how fast planes fly. You can't really verify how fast planes fly, but you can verify how fast, like, boats sail, because you could go out on a boat and actually verify it. Like in the real world, it's something you can do. In the real world, you can't tie a rope to something and set off flying and see how fast you fly. You can't, okay? But you can do it sailing. So they stay quiet, because then I bring up the actual sailing distances covered by ships like the Cutty Sark or by Laura Dekker. I just cover it. I say, well, look, this is what she says. 41 days from Cape Town. So if we do this on your map, well, it's like 5 knots. She says she was doing very good speed. 41 days? That's interesting. And then the distance between Australia and this guy. Calma, calma, Hugo, calma. Que te darán la medicina pronto. Same thing. 38 days between where she left in Australia to Cape Town. 38 days. Well, to close to Johannesburg, and then she went round to Cape Town. 38 days after 2 weeks of idling in the ocean with very little wind, no wind. So just there you go. So here he is. Let's count how long it takes him to switch accounts. Okay. Let's see. What I will do afterwards, I will just see how many seconds there were. Oh, the guy, there are broken guys all over the place. I just explained how that girl was hoodwinked because she's a kind, normal human being. She was hoodwinked into donating her boat to a charity to teach young disadvantaged children life skills, like sailing, like being part of a team, like cooperation, responsibility, all of those things. So she gets hoodwinked because she's a kind human being into donating her ship to them. Not selling it to them, just donating it so they can use it. And they destroy it almost immediately. And whilst destroying it, giving her the runaround where, had they been straight and honest with her, she would have been able to tell them in one single message how to rescue the ship. He got stuck on a reef and the way it was stuck, the nose was pointing out to the sea. Could have just gone out on a dinghy, pulled the anchor across, dropped the anchor at a distance, and then winched it out. So cretins like that exist, and we have one of them in the chat. See? Oh, we have two of them now. So it's just very interesting. Oh, did it, Bass? NASA says God is real. NASA says God is real. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I had a message. Have a reminder to mention Instagram, that I have an Instagram. Let me see. Yeah, so corrupt, broken individuals exist. Also, very kind individuals exist. Very honest individuals exist. You can't assume that because you meet some corrupt people, everyone's corrupt. You also can't assume that because you meet some nice people, that everyone is nice. And this is what happened to that poor girl, that poor woman, I should say. She was treated very kindly by some natives of St. Martin. I think it was St. Martin. She severely injured her foot, and they saw her hobbling, and helped her. They took her home, made an infusion, bathed her feet in it, and then turned up at her ship, at her boat, the day after and said, we need to check, they didn't speak English, but like, time to change your bandages. This weirdo. Let me see if that's the real guy's channel. Yeah, oh dear. This very, very weird. Here, I'm going to show it. This very creepy, weird guy. Bobby says, give me a wrench. Don't waste your time with these guys. No, no importa. Si no me distrae. So this weirdo, Ranty Flat Earth, who is this? Is a guy who's that bright that he called his channel Ranty Flat Earth. Ranty. Like raving lunatic. Raving, just ranting, just ranty. Yeah. Or runty, even. Anyway, this guy, I met him in person. He's a very short, dumpy guy. And when I met him, I've told this story before, he was sunburnt. He didn't have a hat on. His face was very sunburnt when I saw him, and he was still in the sun. And you know how it gets progressively worse once you go into the shade? And I said to him, dude, you need a hat, you're getting sunburnt. And Chris Truthseeker was there. He's like, no, I don't sunburn. Like, you're sunburnt, but okay. He goes quiet for a couple of days, comes back really sunburnt, and blames it on the chemtrails. Yeah, not on being out in the sun getting sunburnt. No, blames it on the chemtrails. That's that guy, Ranty Flat Earth. My God. Anyway, so yeah, we're saying, just because you meet corrupt people doesn't mean that everyone, obviously, okay. But if you meet a whole bunch of corrupt people, then you might start thinking that the whole world is corrupt, and it isn't. You just happen to be meeting a whole bunch of corrupt people. And this Hugo Perez, the poor guy, keeps trying. Come on, bring another one. And that guy, where is he? That ranty guy. I haven't banned him. Where is he? Here. No, he's not banned. But watch him stay quiet. No, he's free to say anything he wants. Oh, wait. I'd like to meet you for a beer again. Ranty. You couldn't pay me enough. You know, it could be chemtrails. You might become radioactive. I don't know. Mensa girl in the chat. Hello. So these guys hoodwink the girl into using her boat. You see, she was pregnant at the time. She wasn't going to be sailing. They took the opportunity of saying to her, hey, why don't you let us use your boat for a charity for children, and we can use your boat, the fact that it's your boat, the one you sailed around the world in, and we survive on donations. We're a 501c or whatever that registration type is. We're a charity, you know, like what's it called, FECO. And we work on donations, and it would be so good because it would help so many children. So she lends it to them. They destroy it. But earlier than that, lover of rock. I bet the imposter regrets buying him that P1000. Who did she buy a P1000 to? That's interesting. Antonio, felicitaciones por la exposición donde pleguezuelos quedaron alteraditos. Sí, señor, sí. Y mira los mensajes que me han dejado. El imbécil ese, doctor de física. No emite radios UVB. Ahora diciendo, bueno, pues sí, pero no de esto. Anda. By the way, in this Spanish hangout, there's a physicist who claims that electromagnetic radiation, there's no size to it. There's no length. There's no distance between any 2 points in electromagnetic radiation. So there's the amplitude and the longitude, and or the wavelength. Nope. 501c. Thank you for that. Who was that? Adelaine. Thank you for that. The guy claiming that electromagnetic radiation is a point with no extension. A point with no extension. That's a geometrical concept of a point with no size. It's a construct of the imagination. That's what electromagnetism is. That's what he claimed. Like, don't talk ludicrous, clown shoe. And oh, he didn't like that because he's a doctor of physics, don't you know? Like, don't you know that your own physicists are rewriting your physics? Don't you know? Yes, anyway, Instagram, Antonio Subirats. And I just post all the things there. There's another one. Killeringa writes, ese Bart debe estar aquí agazapeando, mirando. Pues mira, igual sí. Ranty, oh my gosh, this little fart of a man. He's writing, hop on a train. Look, silly, it's 1:30. Okay, it's 1:30 in the morning. Hop on a train, we can have a couple of pints, eh? I won't harm you, for goodness sakes. You won't harm me. You'd be hard put to harm me if I was sleeping. Like, really? Would have to be a very heavy, sudden blow, you know, for you to harm me if I was sleeping and awake. What the heck? I tell you what, Ranty, why don't you and Anthony Riley come and meet me in Stockport, and we meet in a park. How's that? Ranty Flat Earth. I offered it to Anthony Riley before. He went very quiet. You remember, don't you, Ranty? Because I told you to say it to him. And I meant it to be for a charity for Christmas, you know, a simple, well-organised MMA fight. But instead, why don't you and Ranty come and meet me one day in Stockport? We meet in a park. Nice park. You know, no blows from hitting the concrete. Anyway, Valparaíso, Chile. Saludos. Ranty, you heard, okay? You, Riley, hop on a train and come and meet me in Stockport. Both of you, together. Oh, insanity is sanity. There he is. How are you doing, man? That's a long time. Insanity Sanity is one of the oldest flat earthers, like, on YouTube. How are you doing, dude? I must subscribe to your channel. I've not seen you for a while, so give me a second. Unless I'm already subscribed with this new channel, because this is a new channel. Oh yes, I am already subscribed. Okay, cool. Yeah. Midgets do get drunk quickly. Insanity Sanity, dude, yeah. Insanity is one of the guys who at first, when I exposed Patricia Steer, was like, Antonio, what the hell are you doing? How can you be doing this? And then after some time went, ooh, hold on a second, I think Antonio's right. Like, yeah, it's like, dude, I think I've seen some very dodgy things going on from those guys. Yeah. We've got Perry. I think he's running out of accounts. And good, bro, just being laying low for a while. Good to see you again. Yeah, insanity, it happens. Eric Dubay lays low for a while. Matt Powerland lays low for a while. ODD, some of the older guys just lay low for a while. You know, they're just busy doing other stuff. That first high and that first drive, it passes. Now what we're seeing, I don't know if you've noticed, dude, but now what we're seeing is Globelings holding hangouts where lots of Globelings get together and the Globelings give each other support about it being a globe. It's a globe. It's a globe. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm going to read this message from this guy who's getting, well, we'll go and look at his channel. Let's see how his views are doing. I'll meet you whenever, fella. It's a train ride away or a car journey away. Email me.com and we can make some arrangements. Looking forward to it. Just say it live. Write it in the comment. Come over and see you Tuesday. Where? I'll tell you the name of the park. Go to the park. Simple. Now let's go to the guy's channel. I don't know if this is showing in the Hangouts. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Go here. My word. 800 views. 600 views. Dude, you're getting very poor views. God, it's almost like people don't give a shit what you've got to say. It's like people find you boring or something. I don't know. I mean, it's just a guess. I got you on Skype. We'll jump on one night and catch up. I hope you've got my new one. If you don't hear a reply from me, if you don't get a reply, I don't know if you remember, but Skype was like reshuffled. I lost access to the other Skype. But you'll find me. Yeah, sure, dude. I would love to have a good old chin whack with you. Hugo Pérez, que te estás quedando sin, eh? Yeah, Wobbly Boost, right. Skype effed up all my stuff, yes. But yeah, dude, whenever you like, if you can. Let's see, I'm looking through the chat. Who was it? Pachid 001. We are waiting the Book of the Moon. Oh. The moon. I will cover the moon extensively in the next book. It's kind of, it's part and parcel of the sun cycle. Oh, wait a second though. Midget Ranty, did you drop the toe? Oh. Anyway, let's see. Lover of rock. Last upload I seen, Insanity is Sanity, is ripping that New York fella who rides on electric skateboards. A new one. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I mean, I'm just going to have to go through his channel later on and just have a good old chill. Front K Jemper 88. They deleted my channel some months ago, They obviously didn't like my content, so I have to be careful these days. Chase from Norway. They did that to me too. I had to restart. At first I was a little bit tentative, but then it's like, nah, I'm not going to police my language in case, or police my thoughts. So no. Elad Neira writes, you did a really good work on Pleguezuelos transmission last time. Good, Antonio. Thank you. Gamer Tamer. Ranty, all Antonio has done is insult you. Didn't you false accuse him? Why are you wanting to fight instead of apologising? Isn't that what a man does? You could apologise, Ranty. You could. I still wouldn't be interested in going for a brew with you. Like, you're not worth my time. Sorry, but you're not very interesting. You're a bit boring. I'm sure people around you have told each other that, You're just not very interesting. You're not very charismatic. You're not fun to look at. You're not even funny or anything like that, Martin, I'd love to have a brew with Martin. He's funny. He's an interesting guy. You're boring as shit. So you could apologise and rescue a little bit of your integrity, but you still won't be going for a brew with me. Oh wait, Madame Medusa writes something interesting. Ranty Flat Earth. Did your high-up Freemason mate, who wanted you to be the face of Flat Earth, drop the tour a few quid? Hey, didn't he want to make you a roving investigative journalist? Guy who can hardly master the use of his mother tongue. Ish. Oh, okay. Ranty Flat Earth writes, email me for a date. P.S. I ain't Tony, and reading it out and acting all buff is just for show, eh? I can show you charisma when we meet. First, that sounds a bit homoerotic and creepy as hell, okay? I'll show you charisma when we meet. That's just wrong. Second, I'm not interested in giving you a slap about. Really not. That's why I said you and Riley. You on your own, I would feel like I was being a bully. So no, you and Riley. Coordinate. Come to the chat. Or email me. You know my email. You can find it if you don't. And we'll arrange something. Make sure I set up the P1000 and video it. So it's going to be less than half an hour of you arguing and you and Riley trying to figure out how you're going to, approach me. It's okay. But I take it this is a guy who's a bit starved for attention, coming to another guy who, to be honest, most of my time I spend alone on purpose. It might appear to you guys like a contradiction that I don't like attention. Generally speaking, I don't like attention and I don't like praise. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I enjoy being alone. I really do. The only reason I do this is that no other person is doing this. If there was an alternate universe, if there was somewhere where I could press a button and go to an alternate universe where there was somebody else doing what I'm doing and I could watch, I would press that button and go and be in that universe and just watch. I would, but I can't, and nobody is checking these details and going through them and showing them. So there you go. Hammond Walker, yes, I did make sure. He's got that small man syndrome. What? Wait. Oh, I have to just highlight this. It's just so very interesting. This. Damn. This thick, thin weasel. I weigh 87 kilos. Okay. This thick, thin weasel is thinking he can defeat me in a combat situation. Meh, I shake my head at the delusions of some people. You can carry on shaking your head at the delusions of other people, or you can maybe face those delusions, challenge them, see whether they're delusions of other people or see whether they're delusions of yourself. You know, whether it's just you deluding yourself. I don't know. Yeah, so the guy's getting no attention. Nobody's giving any interest to whatever it is that he's saying on his channel and whoever it is that he's saying it with, because obviously he can't show anything on his own. People do like, so he's come here for some attention. And Ranty goes, okay. Listen, Ranty, I've made it very simple. Okay, I'm going to time you out so you can take a little break, because you kind of, you know, me addressing you is taking over a little bit. So, you had people on accusing me of violent rape. How much sting do you think there'd be in my fist to your face for the fact that you did that, cunt? So, go and speak with Riley and arrange for him to pick you up and bring you to Stockport. Okay, then let me know. Riley has my number. Okay. Okay. I'll put you in a timeout. And on to more interesting stuff. Let's see. Madame Medusa says, lover of rock says it as it is. First time I saw Ranty, he was slagging off Oakley, and now he's up his arse. Yeah, Oakley's the British boss of the British FE. Apart from Martin, he doesn't control Martin. He'd like to, but he doesn't. That's how it goes. Of course, there's many other British flat earthers, like, I don't even know those guys. Never even seen them, you know, doing their own stuff. And Ranty likes to kind of negotiate and make his way along in that crowd of decrepit souls. It's fascinating to me. Jimbo Con, what's going on? Nothing much. Just shooting the breeze. Sub Johnny says, yes, there's a good one. Ranty Flat Earth, we only believe you when you give $1 to Antonio's Patreon. There you go, Ranty. Any further comments? not Patreon, sorry. He said Patreon, not Patreon. Super Chat. Make your comments through Super Chat. Ranty. And now what I will do, so you don't get the satisfaction of seeing your comments in the video, is I will stop screen sharing. And yeah, any further comments you make them through Super Chat. There you go. Now you can't see. Call up Ninja Target and get in his gay ass Range Rover. Jeez, when that happened, I was like, is this guy for real? Did this guy really just show his crappy Range Rover as a Knight Rider thing? Did that really happen? Is that how this guy's trying to come back from having deleted his channel after losing a £1,000 bet that he initiated against a Globelink, where the Globelink won the bet and closed his channel, and then comes back with a different name under this other guise? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Lover of Rock. Yeah. Harmon Walker. No, I really think it's him. I don't think somebody else is using his account. That's kind of how he thinks that he can deal with the world. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It would be a good way of setting him up, but nah, it's just not getting much attention. So that's what it is. Let's see. Front K Jemper 88. You're providing amazing info about flat Earth. You see, that's the kind of thing that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I love your live streams, bro. Thanks for that. But sometimes I start reading a comment just because my name's highlighted, like the Book of the Sun, the channel name. Start reading it. I mean, it's a nice comment. I genuinely, yeah. So, Antonio Subirats, did you ban me? My account is Marvey, and I have nothing to do with this ranty. My account is Marvey. Did you ban me? Because no message came through. I don't know. I don't recall banning a Marvey. Like, really, I don't. And if you've not been here if you were here when there were loads of wrenches, any wrench could have banned you. If you were not when there were lots of wrenches, who knows? I can tell you this, a German subscriber sent me a, and I showed it in a previous hangout. A German subscriber sent me a screen grab of one of my hangouts where the Google moderator team took action. So he took a screen grab, whilst in the chat it said, in different font, in brackets, Google moderator team, but in German, took action. Whatever the action was, deleting, blocking, whatever it was, it didn't show. Just says Google moderator team action taken. Think. So he sent me a screen grab. This is what happens. There's a guy called the Supreme Architect that I communicate with through email. His account was banned, and when he tells me, I'm like looking through the banned list, like not there. So a few people. So it could be the same with you. I really don't know. But they do this, just they unsubscribe people to, it's just cause a little bit of discontent, a little bit of animosity, that's what they try and do. Ranty, Lover of Rock. Ranty, get some money, get some pocket money off the imposter and give it to Antonio. Not interested really, but notice how he could have come back by now, but he's not making any comments because he'll now just delete them and say, make it through the super chat. Because that guy is after money. Like, he is in the flat earth for money. And people like that, they can't understand people like me. They can't get through their head that there might be people that are doing this with no interest whatsoever, with no interest for money whatsoever. And people say, well, you got a Patreon. It's like, okay, let me put it like this. And the person is in the chat, okay? But he or she will probably stay quiet. I set Patreon up after somebody contacted me repeatedly saying, I would like to make a gesture because I can't do flat earth stuff, but I'm in a position to, like, I don't know, share what I have. And I would like to send you some. Have you got PayPal? I'm like, nope. It would make me feel good to, as a gesture of appreciation, to send you something. And it was flights to Las Vegas. It was the funds for flights to Las Vegas. That's why I set up Patreon. And one of my longest subscribers, in fact, my first ever subscriber or donator to Patreon, my very first patron is in the chat right now. So the person who instigated me starting Patreon in the first place is in the chat, and my first ever patron, who was not that person, is in the chat. And, by the way, in case you also wanted to know, because this is the kind of person I am, whilst all of this was going on, Dr. Zach was going through a crisis of conscience for having started a Patreon, because all the Globalists were saying, see, Dr. Zach, you're just doing it all for the money. Look, you've set up a Patreon. He was one of the first flat earthers to set up Patreon, or the English-speaking language, flat earthers. And he wasn't feeling good about it because they were using it against him. And then Flat Earth Math even took the fact that he had a Patreon page, tweaked, did a little bit of Photoshop and said, look, he's got $666 a month. Just as a joke, but it still, it looked like it was his real account. So he was feeling bad for that at the time. And I thought, you know what? If I start this, not only does this guy who would like to show appreciation, not only can he actually use something to show the appreciation, but it will also, like, indirectly be supporting Zach. And I can say to him, I set up a Patreon, so don't worry about it. Yeah. So despite that, there are people who'll be like, no, everything you're doing is for the Patreon. It's like, no, it really isn't. It isn't. It doesn't drive me at all, like at all. If I wanted the money thing, I would be sucking up to, that's an unfortunate term, transgenders, wouldn't I? And be in documentaries and all of that, wouldn't I? But no, not interested. And some people can't get it. Some people just cannot just accept the fact that other people have an integrity they can't fathom. So, Ice to See. Yeah, I don't know where Ice to See is. I saw that she did a stream of an old film, and I was going to watch it, but then I thought, no, I need sleep. So Johnny writes, I haven't seen Flat Earth Math in ages. Looks like school board kicking me in the nuts. I tell you what, Sub Johnny, one of the things I feel kind of saddest about was how I got hoodwinked into attacking Political Hillbilly, because Political Hillbilly really knew how to research. The amount of little subtle, little nasty digs all over the place. It's why I closed down the page that I was in at the time. So it turns out, at the time, I was communicating with Political Hillbilly a lot. Political Hillbilly tracked down where he lived, like his actual house. And we'd look and we'd see these white vans there all the time. It's like, yeah, it could be a neighbour who just happens to have a white van, or it could be other stuff. Political Hillbilly had done a lot of research into the whole Sandy Hook thing and what kind of vans they used. Wobbly Boost, see you later, man. Scattered View writes, you'd be selling your maps there too if that were true. That's right, Scattered View. I'd be saying every donation or every new person who donates to Patreon gets the maps free. Well, free in exchange for the donation, but I don't. Like, oh, hey, turns out the suggestion that was made by the person who's in the chat remaining quiet, that I, develop a means for him and others like him to contribute, turned out to be absolutely wonderful, because I can upload things there that people can take without any possibility of anybody uploading a virus to it or any unsavory materials. They just can't. They can't upload anything inappropriate. So it turned out to be a really good idea. Oh, and then there's this. Then there's people saying, well, why are you selling your book? It's like, right, let me see. Pete and Peter have a book about water. It's free. I haven't read it. Not because it's free, but because I've been busy with other things. But I said to them, I suggested they sell it. I did. I suggested that they sell it because people appreciate it more. If you go to people and say, hey, try this, it's free, people are more likely to say, no, thanks. If instead you stand there with something and say £5 each, they go, oh, what is it? But that's not why I sell the book. I sell the book because I spent a heck of a lot of time. And I think, do you know what? If I spent this time, that whole materialistic thing, if I spend this time doing something in exchange for money, then no. But it's like, no, I'm not engaging with that. I'm saying, this is how much I would pay for this book. If this book was written by somebody else, this is how much I would pay for it. And I would read it, and I would copy the drawings and all kinds of stuff. But people are like, the truth should be free. It's like, it is free. Go and find it. Oh, wait. Chrissy Lynn is agreeing with Mensa Girl, who wrote something. Parish Mike. Cool, thank you. Wait, where's what Mensa Girl wrote? Mensa Girl. I don't think it's a lack of integrity to take money from acting as a speaker, entertainer, consultant, is it? No, I don't think so. So I don't think it's taking money. If you make something and you say, hey, you can have it in exchange for money, that's the deal. You can have it in exchange for money. And people are like, well, I don't want it then. That's all right then. You don't have to have it. I'm not forcing you to. It's not a tax. Let's see. Oh, Chris Alien writes, great Mensa Girl. He puts a lot of time and effort into what he presents. No shame in accepting monetary gratitude for your effort. People just look for things to be indignant about. They do, but then you point out things that you might imagine they'd be indignant about, like smear campaigns and things like that. And like, oh, is that a star? That kind of thing. Like Ranty, who's still listening but no longer commenting. Danny, I really can't see the purge people expect. Feels like fear pantomime put people off. Very true. It hasn't changed my behaviour, hasn't changed anything. In fact, now all you have to do before you stream is say, not for children. It asks you, is this content suitable for children? Yes or no? Say, suitable for children or not suitable for children? Suitable for adults only. That's it, Dick. That's the main thing. Everybody's like, oh my God, if you don't say that it's specifically not for children. It's really simple. In fact, you can't stream unless you do that. Auntie Meg, I love that you gave the maps free. I didn't get to get your book in time before they all sold. Auntie Meg, and I don't know if you know this, but there was so much dirty dealing when it sold, because I sold it through eBay. At first, sold it through eBay. Unfortunately, I wasn't running it because I was busy doing other things. My sister was running it, and she hadn't put wherever it is that you set it up, only verified accounts. So people with unverified accounts were trying to sabotage the whole thing by just upbidding everyone whatever they were bidding for. So yeah, we kind of had to scrap that. A lot sold through eBay when that person got fed up. Well, when she changed the system so that only verified eBayers. Yeah, that happened. But this is the thing. If I'd been doing it for money, that would have like really affected me. But it wasn't. It's like, oh, this guy's just delayed the shipping of the books by a day or two. That's it. It's not. But this is what happens. People don't realize. There are people out there who don't realize that there are people in the world with real integrity. So, we know there's massive corruption, and some retarded conspirators think that the whole world, in the world of the authorities, is all made of corrupt characters. Like, dude, you don't understand. In the world of the authorities, there are corrupt characters, but there's also a heck of a lot of people bringing corrupt characters down without themselves being corrupted. Like, it's really like that. The real world really is like that. And people don't realize there are corrupt characters and there are non-corrupt characters hunting them down, putting them away, putting them out. Just like you don't hear about them anymore because they were bumped off. So, Ranty's trying to comment. So listen. If you want to make a comment, I'm not even reading that one, okay? If you want to make a comment, make it through Super Chat, bitch. Contact Riley. Come down to Stockport in his fantastic 4-car and let's meet in a park. Simple. And I'm not talking about a park for children, you pervert. I'm talking about a park where people go for a walk. Let's see. John Watson writes, YouTube put warnings about FE to protect children, but lots of chants were streaming live Santa tracking. Where's the consistency? That's right. It's an old man dressed in red goes around kidnapping children on Christmas Eve. So NORAD is tracking him, trying to do. They're trying to, intercept missile or whatever. So it's not really real. And the Globians get really annoyed when you bring up Santa Tracker to them. They get really angry. They don't like it. People like Red's Rhetoric. They if you could see them, I'm pretty sure the reason they don't show their face is they don't want you to see their veins start popping out, when you say Santa Tracker. Danny Diesel. Yo, bitch. Jesse Pinkman. Nice. Good reference. El Camino. I really enjoyed it. It made me reminisce. The film El Camino. It's just simple. It's a good film. Okay. Blomenx TV. Can't even use Super Chat when I'm shadow banned. Yeah. Look, right, listen to this, okay? The people who are either banned on this channel, whose primary channel is banned on this channel, or whose primary channel is banned on others. My channel is banned on Mensa Girl's channel. That's right. My channel is somehow banned on Mensagirl's channel, where she can't see my comments, but everybody else can. And if she comes in through a different channel, she can communicate with me. How's that for weird? That's if you guys know about gang stalking, then you'll know what I'm referring to. But those of you who don't understand the term gang stalking, who don't know what it means and what it's used for, look into it. Gang stalking. It's crazy making by a multitude of different avenues. Bill Me writes, very entertaining stuff, but as someone who has literally never concerned themselves with the shape of the object they live on, why should I be concerned about the shape of the earth or the maps that dip? You shouldn't, Bill Me. No reason you should be concerned. Oh wait, continues. Maps that depict the image of a spherical object. You shouldn't be concerned. You might be curious as to why you're given the image of a spherical earth. You might wonder, if it makes no difference, why are you showing it all the time? Like really, if it makes no difference, if you shouldn't really care, why are you given that image all the time? You know, I grew up in Catalonia, in Spain. Most of the time you're walking around and you don't have maps of Spain saying you are in Spain and da, 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 da. Most of the time in America, same thing. Britain, same thing. You don't walk around like Britain, you're in Britain. No, most countries I'd say. Now, in Nazi Germany, you'd walk swastika, 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 everywhere. The Nazi swastika. Swastika, you're under Nazi rule. Zikyle and all of that. Why? Why? Why the consistent, continuous, persistent bringing of your attention to an image that's an icon for an idea. Why? Anyway. Owl Earther. People who don't care about the shape of the earth only want beer. They might. Yeah. Gamer Tamer. The whole YouTube protecting children, that's just so straightforward, not true. Just straightforward, not true. You can go to YouTube without signing into a channel. So there you go. Watch whatever you want. Yes. Hemp alchemy on a flat earth. One good shinky to the inner leg, just above the knee, Antonia will drop like shit. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I do it to the upper thigh on the outside because it hurts more and because he wouldn't drop. He'd have to take all of the weight on his other leg. You know, he'd have that dead leg to shoulder feeling, that whole side dead feeling. He'd have to take the whole weight on his other leg and ponder what does he do? What does he do? Does he just go down? Will that make it feel better? What does he do? Mensa goes, right, yes, and it drives me crazy that I can't do anything about it because you can see me here at the Book of the Sun. Yeah, it's called gang stalking. It's a form of remote gaslighting, Mensa go. So it's to crazy make. So I can see her comments. She can see my comments here. On her channel, she can't see my comments. She can't go in and unban me because I'm not banned. I'm not there banned where she can just unban me and everything's back to hunky dory. It's called ghost banning. And it's done by the moderators, by the Google moderator team, not by moderators that you have allocated. So, oh yeah, oh hey, good question. Auntie Meg, do you think you're going to have a hangout on Jason's channel, Persian Scribe, in the near future? Yes, I do. Looking forward to it. Lover of Rock, I gave up custom spraying because folk want it for nothing. I earn more money repairing number corners. They think because I enjoy custom work I should do it free. Yeah, it's just bumper corners. Not number corners. Bumpers. People just assume, yeah, I did a mural for someone. Took me 2 weeks. £200. I should have just given a flat out figure at the start. Big mural too. Right, no more. No. In fact, I don't do commissions. I no longer do commissions. I do what I want to do, and people buy it because they like it. But I don't do commissions. I don't exhibit. I just, well, show around. There's lots of internet ways of showing stuff. Not galleries. Not interested in all of that. The charlatanism that goes with the art world. It's better called the fart world, where they're trying to just hijack art and say, no, only shit is art. That's the only. There's a cliche. There's too twee. There's too beautiful. There's like, no, it's not earthy enough. It's not raw enough. Like, here's a raw fetus. Yeah, turn a price for you. You know, nah. It's no. Antonio, did you know Dennis Leary stole Bill Hicks' material? Dude, of course. And used it in his album called No Cure for Cancer. Danny Diesel, I do indeed. Yes, he did. No, he stole Louis C.K. stuff. No, he didn't. Chrissy Lynn, I'm always amazed how many people assume that because I crochet, I'll make them an Afghan free. Never consider the cost of the yarn, the mental exercise of making a unique pattern, hours of work. Yeah, it's just, we live in a world that doesn't really know how to ascribe value to things. Like they don't. Like this hangout started with the absolutely despicable destruction of the ship Guppy, which was the ship used by Laura Dekker to circumnavigate the Earth at the age of 15, 16. Swindled out of her with the promise it was going to be used for charity, only had adults on it, broke the contract where it was going to be, it was never going to be sailed by anything less than 3 capable navigators, 3 capable sailors. Passed it around themselves, adults, didn't know what they were doing, so instead of sailing it around, they were like, you know, pulling the sails and using the motor, putting about on a freaking yacht that's gone around the world, filling the freaking engine with water. Oh God. Getting it stuck on a reef and not being able to get it out because like oh dear, the motor's gone. Oh, it's interesting. Oh, I'm drifting towards this reef. Oh, don't know what to do. Better go. That because they don't know how to value things. Instead of taking that boat and going, oh my God, we've got this boat, that is absolutely brilliant. Right, let's start a huge campaign to get donations so people can come and just look at it and sit in it and take a photo in it. And then maybe go on to show children how to navigate and stuff. Instead, we've got a boat for free, yay! putting posts of themselves on Facebook. I'm on the famous boat that went around the world. Yeah. Using the motor instead of the sails, yeah. Oh, just sickening. Lee Powell. Hello, Anthony. I hope you're well, pal. I am. Thank you very much. Now, just a quick thing for people out there. If I go quiet after the 6th for a while, don't think anything's happened. Okay? Now, if Ranty Fartballs goes around saying, I went down there on the 6th and got kicking. He didn't. On the 6th of January, I'm having an operation. So, I'm having a tonsillectomy. So, probably be quiet for a few days after that. So, yeah, I'm not going to come here and whisper. No. So, yeah, don't... bear that in mind if you don't see me for a while. And I don't make any special announcements saying that, oh, I'm taking some time or anything. Also, I'm writing. Bozak TBC. Dennis Leary did more than use Bill's work on an album. He'd done a whole stand-up tour ripping him off. His whole thing was, so Bill had the funny, observational role-playing and the angry, bitter part. Dennis Leary just took the angry, bitter part and made the whole thing just Bill Hicks's angry, bitter parts. Just compiled those and did those. Chuck the Canuck had mine out twice. You had your tonsils out twice? Oh, how did that happen? I mean, did they do one at a time or did they regrow? Because that doesn't sound like fun. Chris Hilly, no ASMR. Probably not. I will heal fast. I have MMS and I will be using it. Perico Canta. Hola. Do you know what? So somebody's saying, I'm waiting for someone to do FE content that is set out for children to see. Wonder what then? Don't worry about it. Children will be watching the stuff for adults. And you're going, yeah, that's true. Yeah, remember what you said in class? Remember how the teacher reacted? Remember? Yeah, that's why. Things like that. Hey, Hammond Walker writes, I just checked. I haven't received any notifications from Mr. Thrive and Survive. Who knows who else? That's true, I have not. We're sitting here going, no notifications from any flat earthers at all. Then I'm going to have to check on, like, insanity. No notifications. Chuck the Canuck. Society is turning into a burning pile of shit. It's not. It isn't at all. But, Wade Fuck City art fraud. Damien Hirst art fraud. Yeah, just frauds. Just look into him. Look into his. In fact, just do a search, Damien Hirst fraud on YouTube, and you see, dead simple. It's really simple. And when they said to him, "There's rumours of you plagiarising other people's work," his answer has been, "Well, fuck them." That's his answer. Ah, interesting. Anyway, everybody has to deal with the consequences of their own actions, and you might have lots of money as a consequence of your actions, but there are consequences other than the material. Let's just put it as that. Madame Medusa writes, Christine was thinking exactly the same thing! Ha ha! Sorry, caps lock. I just really wanted to do that. Berico, did you know that the tranny imposter got back? I did. Does its face look extra tweaked? Because I don't pay any attention. But I bet the face looks extra tweaked. T1 drummer, he played in Britain recently, and I missed him. Bill Burr, he's writing about. I love Bill Burr. He's just brilliant. I'm not over keen on F is for Family. I've watched a few, but I haven't really laughed. But Bill Burr, just excellent. Just absolutely, just a really funny guy. And think, like, this is same with Norm Macdonald. I said this yesterday. The thing that kind of gets me is when you get a comedian who's you find very, very funny, who really makes you funny, makes you laugh, and then you figure out, you see small chinks in the humour that shows that it's a really kind person behind it all. You know, they might be angry or they might be abusive, but you see the chinks that show that that's actually a really kind person behind that. Like Ricky Gervais. Love Ricky Gervais. Love Bill Burr. Love Bill Hicks. And love Norm Macdonald. And Brian Regan. Brian Regan, if you've not heard of Brian Regan, let's see if you managed to watch a Brian Regan stand-up on YouTube, or even live if you're lucky enough, and not laugh. Yeah, anyway. And then there's Angela Johnson. You want to get the jail for your now? And a Japanese comedian called Yumi. And yeah, there's some brilliant comedians around. Bill Hicks started out with Sam Kinison when he left high school. Yeah, Danny Diesel. Yeah. So T1 drummer, yeah. Bill Burr goes into rants where he just escalates, where he's describing how his girlfriend would do something annoying and how he's going nuts about this piece of crap furniture that he bought from IKEA because he can't get it together, and she's going on at him, and just how he wraps it up. I thought you said you were going to your mum's. You know, like, oh, I just love it. Do I like Paul Fort? I don't know Paul Fort. Right, I'll look that up. Paul Fort. Give me a second. I love comedy. Paul Fort. Oh, brilliant. Oh, cool. Loads of stuff. Awesome. Right. So I got it. Do you know what surprises me? You see these amazing comedians. You see their official YouTube channels, like 8,000 subs. How does that happen? How do they have 8,000 subs? I had 20,000 subs, just under, when my channel was killed. How does that happen? But hey, YouTube land, it's a different world. So thank you for that. I got Paul Foote. Cheers. Right, listen guys, I think I'm going to wrap up, because I fancy watching some Paul Foote comedy. Not Macdonald. Danny Diesel. Norm Macdonald's new special never shows more than 6-7 people in the audience. I think Norm Macdonald is an absolute genius. You have to listen to his records. Oh God, just look for his records, for his albums. Oh. Fat Albert, yeah. Pointing out true comedic talent that you can make you think and laugh at the same time is rare indeed. Yeah. Arguments between rock lover and multi tom tom. Funny. FES using natural cures have started dying. Oh, have they really? Maybe it's time to go with that. Tried medicine for a while. FES have started dying. Men's a girl. Really? Wait, let me give you a wrench. Put a link if you can. I'm going to give you a wrench. Just for a short while. No favoritism here. Yeah, that will be interesting. I tell you what. Okay. And I like the guy, so I feel sorry for him. Santos Bonacci. He looks tortured. That's veganism for some people. Veganism doesn't work for everyone. That it works for some doesn't mean that it works for everyone. A meat-only diet works for some, but doesn't work for everyone. Like a beef-only diet. So, yeah. Jim Jeffries is dope too. I was watching some Jim Jeffries earlier today. Lee Powell writes, I'm not sure if there's another attack on flat earthers by YouTube, but I just noticed that Taboo Conspiracies videos can't be saved to a playlist. It says this action is off for kids' entertainment. Okay, if your channel settings are set to playlists for children, I don't know, then yeah. Madame Medusa, he's had his heart broken. I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I was in contact with him when I was in contact with him and then lost contact for only a couple of months and then reconnected. And it turned out that in those couple of months he was falling madly, deeply in love. So there's trouble here. There's trouble coming. And then Medusa writes, he says he has parasites and he's had his heart broken. Well, parasites you can get rid of kind of easily with, like, go to your pharmacy. But heartbroken, yeah. That's pretty funny. Chernobyl Ranty. Antonio, you couldn't fight your way out of a paperback, so bring it on. Me and Donut Tony. Yeah. Very good, whoever that is. Yeah, where'd Fuxify? We've got to listen and keep close attention to our bodies. After that, food becomes easy to understand. Tell you what's easy to understand. Going for a walk. Just like getting up and going for a walk where you're not going, where what you're doing is going for a walk. We don't do that anymore now. My grandparents did. My mother still does. People who just go for a walk. They used to call it constitutional. You'd go for a walk after your lunch or after your tea. Just go for a walk. Just a nice stroll. People don't stroll anymore. The Book of the Sun. Who might not be my taste? Sorry, The Book of the Sun. Madame Medusa. Paul Foot. Ah, yes, right. So yes, I've saved him, and that's what I'm going to watch when I finish. Play beautiful flamenco guitar. So no links, Mensa Girl, to any flat earthers that have been dying of natural medicine. Okay, then take away your wrench. Let's see. Saludos, Antonio. con Mauricio Amado. Saludos. Ya muy pronto será nuestra entrevista. Algún día sí. I heard the bear cub is trading in his logo for a Karen B Bigfoot print. Oh. I could really say that, couldn't I? Look at this. That's not even a wolf print. That's a Bigfoot print. And have people go, no, it isn't. It's a bear print. Oh wait. Jeez. Tomorrow I'm going to stroll. Monkey boy pup. Yeah, just get up and go for a stroll. Unbelievable. The abuser claims to be the abused. The woman is unreal. Yes, of course. It's a narcissist. It is a covert narcissist. I said it way back when. I've got a video saved that was made by, I think it was Shills versus Shills or someone like that. I've got it saved and it says told you so. And I've just saved it so I can re-upload it just to refresh people. Just to refresh people's memories. Flat Earth data. Did you ever calculate the speed of the sun around the tropics? Okay, so the sun doesn't make a circle. Like Sergei Marsev was trying to work out if the sun covered more distance in the same period of time when it's over the Tropic of Capricorn as when it's on the Tropic of Cancer. But the sun isn't a glare point that's localized. It's not a localized thing. The sun is actually doing this continuously. It's on a magnetic field and it's stacked, it's layered, it's holoprismatic, it's a whole series of filaments. I'm only doing 2 of the many filaments, 360 this way and 360 all the way around. Filaments that are stacked, that you see through. So when you look and you go, well, okay, we could just say, how fast does it go over the Tropic of Cancer? Just isolate that part. Say, well, okay, you could be at the Tropic of Cancer and say, okay, well, we're going to compare dawn at the Tropic of Cancer and dawn all along the Tropic of Cancer. You understand? You could be at the Tropic of Cancer and go, okay, Tropic of Capricorn. And the idea is measure it from above you. Like, great. So do that. Wonderful. Now let's do it again. From the Tropic of Capricorn, but this time from dawn. Only from dawn points. So I'm here, and dawn is southeast. Okay. Now measure from over there. When's dawn coming? It's coming now. Okay. Where? Southeast. And you'll see it's like this. But whilst it's doing this, it's also doing this across my sky and this across the next guy's sky. If you isolate the time, so the first sun, and everybody looks at just the first sun, you can draw out one of the nexus lines, if you want to call it that, on its arc. And you can do that repeatedly, and eventually you will have drawn the actual arc that it draws across your sky. When you do that through the seasons, you'll see that it's quite a wide band, because at this point it's southeast, and at this point it's east, or even northeast. And you'll have drawn a wide band, and then you'll start to see what it actually is, what the sun actually is. So, when Sergei Malsev was saying, come on, let's do a sun tracking so that we can check, like, the speed difference, it's like, by then it's like, you can't check the speed of a rainbow. You just can't check it. You can't check it. If only people who were checking it at their zenith were checking, and they were equidistant, then that would be very convenient. But you can't organise that. Even across Australia, you just can't have people who are perfectly under the Tropic of Capricorn and then leap across to Africa and have those people there perfectly under the Tropic of Capricorn. So you start to engage with elevation, and then it's like, okay, well then why don't all of you engage with elevation, all have the same elevation at solar noon, and check. And you end up drawing a band across the sky, which is what the sun is, manifests within a band in the sky. But yeah, thanks for the question, dude. I like this Chernobyl ranty, whoever it is. And for your information, light is a particle. Quantum erectile says so. So it's true, okay? You got that? No one can argue with Johnny Boy without getting toe tagged. I know who you're referring to. Oh, that toe rag. Oh, that connected guy who's uncle. That guy. Ew. There's another totally uncharismatic guy who wishes to be known for being kind of popular. Ew, God. Anyway. Flat Earth data, I believe, is a reflected prism. It's a holoprismatic nexus. Flat Earth data. It's a holoprismatic nexus. So you know how a hologram is stacked, it's layered, okay? So and a prism twists or bends or diverts, okay? A nexus, if you get two torch beams and cross them over like this, so they're not actually crossing, okay, but crossing over like this. If you do this, where they cross over, it appears to be brighter. Now do this, where you're stacking like this, and you get to a point where they are crossing over each other. Okay, so it's a multitude of crossing over each other, as well as a multitude of separated by a small gap and a small. All of this continuous separation to the nanohertz. That's the sun. I tried figure that out 500 years ago. Let me see. T1 Drummer, is this why so many Australians are staunch refugees of flat Earth? Their perspective reinforces the globe? No. In fact, there's a lot of, considering how few people, how sparsely populated Australia is, there's a heck of a lot of flat earthers in Australia. Like a lot of flat earthers. Years ago, there's a flat earther at a beach looking through those beach looking things, and he's got his camera set up and his laptop. And he's looking at stuff and he's measuring the distance of going and showing on Google Earth through his laptop. Like, that shouldn't be even visible. Like, how the heck is that visible? So, yeah. Yeah, just there's a lot of Australian flat earthers. Let me see. You have a link to the LED sun skylight video? No, I don't. Not that right now. IN26, but I will tell you how it looks. Just look through them. That's what it's called. Just type that. Type that in the search, and you find a whole series of videos. The best one is where you walk into a fake, a mock room, and there's a mirror leaning on the wall. That's the best one, because that's the one that best shows the parallax. Flat Earth data, separated frequencies then at the Book of the Sun. So yes, separated frequencies. In fact, who was it? Yesterday said, could that be Could the spectrum be how the filaments? So what's it actually illuminated are filaments. Could the spectrum be how the filaments are illuminated? So, ooh, that's interesting. Could be the filaments start off being agitated slowly, which would be red, and then really fast, which would be blue, and then it leaps across to the next, and red and blue. And so that separate. It takes some thought, so I'm not going to carry on because I want to think it out. Oh, there you go. Angel Fire it was. Angel Fire. When about did you find out the Earth was flat? Me, I'm coming up to 5 years in January 15th. Let me see. October 2nd. I don't recall. October 2nd was the first video based on a personal observation that I made about flat Earth. Before that, I'd made a video. I mean, this was when I was first learning about making videos. Taking other pieces of things and putting them together. But I don't remember what year it was. If it was 2015 or 2016. Give me a second. I think I might have on the other computer, I might have SunCalc. Ugh. My other computer is really messing up. Not passing on Skype notifications and all kinds of stuff, but I think I have SunCalc set to the date. If I can find it, if it starts, then I'll let you know. Blue to red. I think other way around. I think red to blue. Oh, wait a minute. I know what you mean. Blue to red. Like waves on an ocean start very sharp and end up very... Wait, how about the time your Russian buddy told you the Earth was flat on his boat or whatever? Says Wada Fuxify. No, that wasn't me. That was my cousin. So his Russian buddy told him on the boat. And that was before I became a flat earther. He told me, I was like, wow, what? Okay. What can you do? Just, okay. I was a bit stoned at the time, so I wasn't sure whether to take it as a joke or if he meant it as a joke or what. So what a fuxify. Great memory, dude. But it wasn't a Russian buddy telling me. It was my cousin's Russian buddy telling him. They were going tours, yachting around the Mediterranean. There's a Russian with a helicopter. Yeah, that guy. Second. So in answer, I'm not sure. Not sure, Angel Fire. INFE, late for the show, no notifications, not even listed as live. What can you do? Just check that you've got the bell ticked. But there's nothing much you can do if you have. Let me see. I so envy people that still have their original channels. Ish, a bit, you know. Chernobyl Ranty, tell you what, dude, I live close to the last eclipse path, and the lightning storm that occurred 2 days ago after scared the living bejesus out of me. That's interesting, dude. Did you video it at all? Lex Leon writes, what drew you into FE? I had a vid titled 200 Scientists Vote the Earth is Flat. Unrecommended for like 6 months before I viewed it. Now I can't find it. I've never heard of that. That'd be interesting, but there's also, my uncle told me this, there's a Rudyard Kipling story called something like The Village That Voted That the Earth is Flat. Wait, whoa, I don't know about this. Flat Earth data. You should look into the SALT Treaty. They're talking about electric airplanes. 2021, the SALT Treaty expires. EMP is no longer banned. What? Wow, dude. Will you make a video? Too busy to video. Okay, Chernobyl ranty. Could have done it out your window. Flat Earth data, will you make a video about it, please, mate? So sorry, I'm trying to start. Even Safari won't open on my other laptop, on my other Mac. Okay, so I'm going to look at that SALT Treaty. I'm kind of working my way through the articles on the Dr. Robbie Tay's video. Might just work my way through. The Strategic Arms Limitation Talks were 2 rounds of bilateral conferences and corresponding international treaties involving the United States and the Soviet Union, now must be Russia, the Cold War superpowers, on the issue of arms control. The 2 rounds of talks and agreements were SALT and SALT 2, SALT 1 and SALT 2. I was thinking recently, you know how between now and 50 years ago, the world has changed so massively? I think, how will it change between now and 50 years? How drastically different will it be in 50 years' time? George Irizarry, Antonio, what do you think about Richard Smith, Hasta lo más alto? I don't have a problem with him, to be honest with you. That's what I think. Wader Fuxify, I absolutely thought the flat Earth was a joke and laughed my ass off at the thought that we could have been duped into actually believing the Earth was a ball. I remember Adelaide, yeah. They had P-51 Mustangs in the war that ran on water. Research it. Of course, the war industry is not going to give away all its secrets. But yeah, I don't doubt it. I know what happened to Stanley Meyer. Stan Smith, always late to the party. Yeah, and I'm about to close shop too. Yeah, about laughing at the thought of being duped into actually believing the Earth was a ball. So, most people have been through their own little mental adventure, from globe to some flat Earth stuff to what, to looking on, oh jeez. Mine was like, no. So looking at Google images of the Earth, like, these are all fake. There's not enough room in that ball for all the continents. Like, whoa. Why are all of these fake? I already was suspicious of the moon landing. I already thought the moon landing hadn't happened. Like, oh, there can't be. No, No, the moon. What about the moon? So you see the moon from here, and you see the moon from down there. It's like, wait a minute. Make it flat. See the moon from here. Oh God! Oh God! And it was the weirdest. Like, it was like I was on my own, and it was like a panicky release of laughter and of disbelief. I suppose you might describe it as like a manic euphoria of fear and delight and dread and astonishment and disbelief and no and what? Oh yeah, what the? And then looking and looking and oh my God, yeah, that's what it was for me. What? T1 drummer. What do you think of the reports of meteors over the Mariana River? I've not heard, dude. Wow. The mechanical engineering. Do you mean Brian Mullen, balls out physics? Yeah. Some of the things that Brian Mullen brought up, it is just so very, very simple. Like, just I'm going to just do a very quick drawing of one of the simple ones. All simple. Earth and atmosphere and column of air. There, that's just playing the role of atmosphere and a column of air. For this column to be, well, still a column and not a swirl like that, because the Earth is rotating and everything's lagging behind, but for this to be the case, like artillery being shot up and landing pretty much where it's been shot from, or even parachute jumpers or hot air balloons that go up and then come down in the same region. For this to be the case, here there must be more acceleration than here, because we're making a bigger circle. Just that on its own says, the heck is that happening? And then when you look into the actual, like, more complex orbital mechanics, and go Sun, Earth, Earth. Wait, let me make it more extreme. This, the Sun, Earth, Earth, Capricorn, Cancer, with the whole thing travelling that way. This is the kind of angle of the ecliptic plane, a bit exaggerated. This should be like 66 degrees from that, okay? Which means that this will be 23. So you see, it's a bit exaggerated, but so, So behind the Earth, the Sun's equatorial plane, behind and ahead and behind and well, this means acceleration and deceleration. And in fact, acceleration from the most distant point. How is gravity doing that? At this point, it slingshots round, and at this point, it relaxes and then slingshots. What the heck? Yeah. The whole thing becomes so ludicrous when you stop to really think about it. It just becomes so incredibly ludicrous. And then you look at the big proponents. So the guys who talk about quantum physics and relativity and time travel, and you look at those guys, you know, and you listen to what they say. It's like, oh my God, you're just talking complete and utter bullshit. What the hell are you saying, you clown? you sound like a madman. You listen to them, it's like, and these people aren't really hearing that what you're explaining. You just spent 2 sentences establishing something that you've immediately demolished with the following 2 sentences, and then you continue in your talk as if those 2 things, which have been demolished by yourself, were both extant simultaneously at the same, and you're not even talking superposition. It's like, wow, just amazing. Yeah. Where the fuck's this fight? Absolutely, of course, I wouldn't have come across your videos explaining all the enigma. I wouldn't be hit where I am today with you. Do you know that's one of the things my Globelink friends used to ask? Oh yeah, how many people have you turned flat earthers? How many people have you convinced? How many people? Like there was a set goal. Like I had a set goal, 500. I'm aiming for 500. P-Murray level Earth. I didn't set this for 8 a.m. or any time. Parish Mike Antonius Lunacy Lander helped me wake up. Unfortunately, the Lunacy Lander also helped Owen Benjamin wake up. But then he kind of forgot. He stopped paying attention and then flink, and got hooked. You love Jesus too? Oh, you're my brother then. Poor fool. But hey, everybody learns in their own time. Right, guys, that's it. I'm trying to open the thing and it's just not working. In fact, my Skype isn't working. My Skype isn't working. I need to get that thing fixed. Right, guys, Danny Diesel, nobody believes me. About what? What do nobody believe you about? Oh, how many people you've converted? Don't see it like that. I don't see it like that. That's a religious way of thinking. But T1 Drummer, I haven't heard anything about meteors over Mariana. How do you stop a globally from drowning? Oh. Guys, listen. This is only a conversation. The shape of the Earth is really only a conversation you can have with somebody who's highly, highly intelligent. If they're not highly intelligent, they might have a lot of emotional intelligence. Well, in which case they are highly intelligent. But if they're not highly intellectually intelligent, they can't really engage. If they're not highly emotionally intelligent, they can't really engage. If they're kind of subpar, they won't. It's like, nah, they can't entertain an idea without feeling like they're endorsing the idea by merely entertaining it. So they don't entertain it because they're that limited intellectually. Dirty Sam Squanch. In kindergarten, 1976-ish, I was taught the Earth was flat. I remember it because I have a picture I drew. Cool. So let me just look. The reports out of Guam. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll see if I can get something on the meteors. Yeah. Angel Fire, the people who discovered our fear were just passing by the open door. The Globers don't know the door is even there. Yeah. Well, it's and this is where it gets weird because it comes to the point where it's it really is a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual pursuit. It's an intellectual pursuit on the one hand, but it's being driven by the spiritual consequences, and or guided by. And people that have a poor spirit, they can't. And this is where I get to the point where I think it's not fair to give them a barrage, because it's not their choice. They can't help it. If their connection to their spirit is strangulated, you're basically bullying them. You say, look at you. It's like going up to somebody who can't lift something. You say, look at you, you can't even lift that. You know? Or, I don't know. It's like laughing at someone who's not capable of doing something through no fault of their own. They're not capable. So, having a go at them is a bit like, well, it's abusive, the way I see it. That's why I tend to mainly have a go at people that I think, no, you can get it. You can get it. You're just not getting it because there's something else wrong with you. But it's not a lack of ability or lack of spiritual involvement or evolution. Right, guys, that's it. I'm going. I'm going to go and listen to some stuff. I'm going to look to see about meteors of Mariana. And I'm going to chill. Thank you very, very much for your time. Do you know, I didn't mean for this to be this long, but what can you do? Okay, guys, I will see you again soon. If you haven't watched the start of this, go back and watch the start. You don't need to watch all of it, of course, but just go back and watch. Mainly, when I do long hangouts, it's like I've covered what I wanted to cover at the start. That's the main point. That's the main reason I do the hangout. The rest is just shooting the breeze with you guys. Okay, thank you very much for your time, guys. I hope you're all still having a good festive season. Okay, shalom.